some of the reds is working into poppies because warm and cool versions of every paint color out there exist, and they help to create three-dimensional qualities. So a poppy, yes, it's a red color, it's a cad red, but in all honesty, where it's in sunlight, it's a cad red light or cad orange with a little bit of white as the highlight. To describe what's going down and deep in the shadow areas, you need to switch into some of the darker reds, the naphthol red, maybe mixed with a little bit of alizarin crimson to get even darker. If you want to cool all that off, you blend into the quinacridone magenta. So on our palettes, if you looked at the warmest of the cad oranges, and then slowly into the rest of the reds. So there's the highlights of my poppies. Here's the medium values, the sun's hitting it. Here's the shadow area. Here's some shadows. And there are times when I will throw in suggestions of poppies in the background, in the shadow, or down in the green growth that's below my favorite set of I'm promoting. There's poppies in hidden shadow. They're going to be these darker values. So all of these colors go into describing a single colored subject. We as artists are creating the illusion, as little magicians that we are, that that's an actual three-dimensional product on our two-dimensional surface. So yes, the photograph says, have you ever gone out, looked at a poppy and seen 17 shades of red? You take a picture of it and all of a sudden you have 5. It's like it takes out all the really awesome things. So yes, working from real life totally helps because you can see the nuances of the different colors. But as an artist, we do a lot of work from reference photos, and they flatten out everything. Everything that was a three-dimensional depth all of a sudden becomes flat. So yes, the red tulip rose of the Skagit County look like they're going off in the distance, and on my photograph they're all the exact same red. So I went red from top to bottom, the exact same red. And you go, well, how come it doesn't look like it's going off in the distance? Because we need to neutralize the reds. We mix them with a little bit of the greens. We soften them up, we gray them down, we send them into the distance. So if you think about the fact that everything in the distance is a version of grayed down, neutralized, poo-poo combinations of colors, everything that's in the foreground that says, look at me, I'm in the foreground, they're the clearest, brightest, cleanest colors. So that might help you when you say, well, you said it had to be the darkest color of the foreground. There's truth to that too, but we'll talk about it. So this is the palette that we have laid out in a color wheel. We know we have these colors as our main subject matter. That means they're going to look really, really great next to their partner over here on this end. So that's why red poppies look great on a yellow, green, blue field, because those are all their support colors. Those same red poppies on a wheat field won't stand out quite as much because it's on the same side of the color wheel with it. It's not enough contrast, so its complementary partner is not here, it's over there. As I demo, if you can't see from where you're at, you are welcome to get up, come over, move over, so we make noise for the video. Scratch, crunch, scratch. And like I mentioned earlier, starting out with larger brushes first, working with smaller brushes if you can. I didn't prepare well here as I propped myself up. And working on a damp surface totally helps. You know how you take that roller of paint in your house and you paint the wall and you got like wet and you're going at it, and all of a sudden about 2 minutes later when you still have the same roller full of lessening and lessening paint, it starts going and pulling off the wall. The product's trying to dry and you're pulling it off the wall, so you literally have to go scoop up more paint and put it on the wall. Situation here too, it starts to dry, you're starting to pull it off the surface. If you're trying to get a great big area covered quickly, slightly dampening it, just like Nordstrom's. Perfume, and we used to squirt us with perfume, and we all go. I got to be a model for years for Nordstrom's, squirting people with the poison variety by Christian Dior. And since Christian Dior is French, everybody kept saying, oh, is that the Poisson? Poisson? No, it's called Poison. But we all smell the same because it was the first of the synthetic varieties of perfume out there. Okay, so you paint your subject matter first. What's the most important part of your painting? Is it sunflowers? Is it the mountain? Is it the poppies? We don't want to do the whole background and then do the subject matter, because then our subject matter is limited to what we've already established in the background. So get your subject matter established first. So if the story is poppies, poppies are an umbrella facing upright, which means all the sunny things get up here and then the shadow areas are darker. So therefore it's okay for me to establish the highlight
Is that cad red light?
At this point, yes, cad red light, and I'm just now smidging a tiny bit of white into it. Since he's behind this one, I'm slightly making an adjustment for the red so that it's not quite as phenomenal. That's what somebody called it yesterday, tomato soup. We're making tomato soup color back here because it's not quite as awesome as straight cad red with it. This has a tad bit of cad orange on it. I have no idea how cameras are going to. So if my umbrella in this direction is catching light facing up, then the cooler ones get to be underneath. Now, yes, that umbrella has sunlight edges up here, and it is going to be darker down here. And on top of it, those poppies have what I call that hula hoop skirt wrapped around the pod in the center, so we have the black guy that's going to be going on in here too. But for the most part, we're capturing